What is going on, everybody? We are back for another episode of the Double Switch podcast. 1 week can change just about everything here, especially with this Phillies team. We went 1-6, and then we went 6-1, and pretty much the past 2 weeks never even happened. It's the strangest thing ever how a team can just go from making you question your entire fandom versus thinking this team could actually this team could make some noise if they get in the playoffs. We're fully on the roller coaster, Johnny. We're buckled in and we're going through the process, and we have about 20 games left of this roller coaster before we finally get to actually know what we're doing, where this team's going, whether the streak's over. It's looking good today. It's looking a lot better today than it did last week. But how do you feel about this roller coaster, Johnny? Where are you at right now?
I've always thought that the 162-game season is a roller coaster no matter what team you are. So I've actually really enjoyed the ride. It's almost been really fun to watch people overreact and go crazy, kind of like we were doing last episode, going crazy about how the Phils are over, the September collapse is back. But now I'm loving this season. It's been so much fun, especially to follow them like we have been.
I cringe when I think about last week's episode because I don't know if I should just stay calm throughout all of this, but I was all worked up. It was just a rough week start to finish. Nothing seemed to be going right. And then you just flip the switch and you forget all of that and you just go out and start over. How do you think this team's able to do that? Do you think it's kind of Topper and his calming influence, or do you think it's some of the veterans? I mean, how do you even do that? Just do the full 180 there.
I think Topper is a big thing, a big reason for the way they've responded to some of the bad streaks of games they've played. He's so calm. I think the players feed off that, especially some of the younger guys, I would say, because they come up and they're looking at the older players, their manager, when things go bad, and to see that he still has the same belief in them and he knows what they're capable even after a 1-6 week, I think that's comforting for young players and the veteran players.
Yeah, they can't really adjust on the fly like game to game, but I feel like if you give this team a day off, give everybody a chance to reset, this team's completely capable of turning whatever's going on around. It's something that we haven't seen the past couple Septembers. You and I both know that. We won't go into that, but it leads me to believe that maybe this team is not maybe. It leads me to think that this team's probably different, and that collapse we saw a couple years ago didn't have the clubhouse presence that we see this year with some of the veterans. It didn't have a manager that really had the clubhouse. Kapler and Girardi, I mean, say what you want. I don't think they had the clubhouse. Topper definitely seems to have some sort of respect that was missing. And it makes me think that this team can really kind of finish this out. I'm going to knock on wood here because, I don't want to jinx anything, but I feel good. I feel really good right now.
Yeah, no, I'm willing to go out and say it. I don't think we're going to collapse this year. I might regret saying that right there.
Yeah, we might want to cut that out,
but no, I have full confidence in this team, and I have full confidence in Rob Thompson to get the boys to the promised land.
92% chance as of this morning. 20 games left. I don't really understand how magic numbers work. It was 19 before we won yesterday, so it must just be 18 now, I guess. There's a lot of math that goes into that. But, yeah, let's do a quick recap of the week.
Sure thing.
Would we be in the playoffs if we didn't have the opportunity to feast on the Washington Nationals? Because we have absolutely destroyed that team all year. It's pretty much batting practice every time we face them. If we do make it to October, they deserve some of the credit because they have just given games away to us. you have to be able to take them, which we have. But yeah, we've completely beat up on the Nats so far this year.
Yeah, but like you look at it, and so have the Mets and the Braves, and that's how they've gotten to the stellar 90 win records that they're at right now. Yeah, we all get to beat up on them. It's nice.
On top of that, we've also beat up on the Marlins, and that's something that we haven't done before. That's also going to prove to be one of the bigger difference makers this year. Just beating those bad teams. Last year didn't really do it as much as we would have liked. This year, there's been moments where we haven't, but for the most part, we've taken care of business against these National East, kind of basement dwellers. It was a good time for them to come into Philadelphia, but they just looked overmatched all week against us at home.
Yeah, it's nice to see us put the Marlins in their place for once. Even though, I mean, when you look at the pitching matchups against the Marlins every series, it looks like we're going to lose 2 out of 3. It really does. Even though I know they don't have an offense, but we really got to give credit where credit's due. The offense has done a great job of getting to Marlins pitching this year.
Who is the best Marlins hitter right now that's healthy, you think?
Probably what's Avisail Garcia.
Is he healthy?
He just came back last week.
Oh, okay. I mean, watching that team hit makes me kind of question like what they were thinking in the offseason. I mean, that team was never going to win with that offense. I know they brought in some pieces, Soler, Garcia. That team just you talk about the matchups with the pitching, and they do have a really good staff, but they're never going to be able to compete until they get hitting. And you see our pitchers kind of feast on it. Bailey Falter yesterday. I believe it was Aaron Nola earlier in the week.
It was
Wonderful start from Nola. Was it Ranger? I've lost track of the order now since it's kind of messed up with people getting hurt. But yeah, whoever's faced the Marlins has just done an awesome job and clutch hits. I think we saw one yesterday. Perfect example. Nick Maton, Alec Boehm on Sunday after the rain delay. Just clutch hits, clutch timing, especially amongst some of the younger guys. I don't really have a transition here to where I'm taking this, but that's kind of just my observation of what I've seen against these these teams we faced the past couple weeks.
It's so cool to see the daycare guys being like the clutch guys on the team, because like if Joe Girardi was still our manager, we don't even know if Bryson Stott would be in the major leagues.
Bryson Stott. We don't even know if Alec Boehm would be in the major leagues because there was some time in April where his playing time was not guaranteed. We had Johan Camargo, who kind of started off really well. This team might easily have, Camargo at third, Didi still here. And, you look around the team and there's not a guy under 25. And that's in an alternate reality, that's very possible, but that's not the case here. It's the younger guys getting it done. Bryson Stott, Alec Boehm, Nick Maton, Edmundo Sosa, Brandon Marsh finally looks comfortable. I think he's settling in, and I think he's finding something here because he looks kind of like a different hitter than he did when we first got him. Do you think he's kind of made an adjustment here too?
Yeah, I think he's been a project for Kevin Long and the Phils since the minute he walked in the door. We saw from reports that the Phillies were even looking into him last year in a trade. They've clearly had their eyes on him, and they don't think it's that hard of a fix. And I just wrote an article on Brandon Marsh, and it's up on our website for anyone listening. But there is so much potential that they could unlock in Brandon Marsh, and it really just starts with cutting down on strikeouts.
Yeah, it's a swing that I could probably see getting long sometimes, and kind of opening up and missing some off-speed pitches lower in the zone. But yeah, he fills out the bottom of what's become a very deep lineup with the development of these younger players. It's a lineup that battles. It's a lineup that can beat you anywhere in the lineup. We have Gene down here batting 7, and I feel like he's just gone 2 for 4, 3 for 4 for like a week. It's scary, especially in a playoff series. So it's refreshing to see that, especially with Bryce back.
Yeah, no, the supporting cast is been red hot, and I think they've all really thrived from being pushed down the lineup. I mean, like seeing Stott's been like the utility guy in the lineup. He's not as far as positions, but he's been hitting everywhere. I think he hit a leadoff one day, and then he hit
Batted
in the
fifth.
4-hole one day, and then the 5-hole. So that's been a luxury to have, where he's such a good versatile hitter. You can put him anywhere in the lineup, and he doesn't get affected at all.
Yeah, no, he's very, very versatile player. With Sosa's just outstanding play so far, do you think it's time that we kind of need to consider giving him a starting job next year in some format, or do you think we should still think of him as a bench player? Because people are going to start asking here very soon. Gene's team options coming up. We've been connected to the top tier shortstops on the free agent market. And Edmundo Sosa has been arguably the best hitter traded at the deadline since we acquired him. OPS plus better than Juan Soto, better than you name it. I think there was only one guy on top of the list ahead of him, but yeah, he's been awesome. I don't know what his ceiling is. I know what his ceiling is with the glove. He's a Gold Glover. At shortstop, he's probably even better at second and third. But do you think it's time we start thinking about him as a starter next year?
I've thought about it, but it's a really difficult scenario to navigate because we all know that the Phillies have been in on Turner and Bogarts, or they plan to be, and Gene Segura has that is it team or player option?
Team.
Okay, so yeah, it's very likely they won't pick up Gene's option, and it kind of leaves them with two choices, and that's either let Gene go and have Maton or Sosa start, or platoon them, or keep Maton and Sosa on the bench and go get Turner, or one of those.
Which way do you think the team's probably leaning right now?
I think they were definitely leaning towards Turner. I don't think they expected this type of production out of Sosa and Maton.
From what I understand, they were pretty high on Sosa, like you said a couple seconds ago. They think we don't know for sure because we're not with the Phillies. But I think that they probably are higher on him than we think they are. I don't know what they're expecting from him, but I wouldn't be surprised one bit if he ended up starting next year.
It'd certainly save us some money at whatever position he ends up. He could play any of the positions. So
yeah, he's been one of the incredible developments, and just another one. Bailey Falter's making me think here, dude. I have watched a lot of Bailey Falter. He's not you watch him pitch, and it's hard to believe sometimes that he is as effective as he is. He's got 92 in the tank. The long arm when he goes through his windup, that's got to be just a mess to try to time. You have this guy, this giant. He's like 6'5", sticking his arm out at you and just arms flying towards you when he pitches, and he can locate just about anywhere. Quality starts in 5 of his past 6, and he's become probably our most consistent starter. Do you think that he's taken a step forward? And it's going to be interesting here soon because Zach Wheeler, we'll get into Wheels in a bit. He's probably going to pitch again this year. The reports are good right now. And the logical fit to remove is the guy who, plugged the hole when Wheeler went on the IL, and that's Bailey Falter. The interesting part of that is Bailey Falter is our best starter now, so you can't remove him from the rotation right now, right?
You can't. He is the hottest hand, and Kyle Gibson is the coldest hand. I know you pay Kyle Gibson money, and he's a great player, and he's a great teammate, and he doesn't deserve to get necessarily benched. It's playoff time. If we're going to start making emotional decisions, bye-bye playoffs. Bye-bye success in the playoffs. So just like we did with Didi, just like we did with Odubel, make the hard decision. It's emotional because he's a good guy, but we got to win. And Bailey Falter is a better pitcher right now than Kyle Gibson.
Yeah, I don't need the nice pitcher. I need the effective pitcher, and that is Bailey Falter. It's he should have a spot now, and he should probably have a spot to start next year. He's earned that. What else does that guy have to do? He's pretty much been Ranger Suarez um, of last year. This year,
Yeah.
he's pretty much that now. The one thing that I would throw back at you, Rangers the only one in this rotation who has experience coming out of the bullpen. So if you do want to put Ranger in the bullpen and have him, just come in whenever Kyle Gibson can't get through the third inning, or Thor gets pulled in the fifth, give you some long innings out of the bullpen and kind of take a load off of him and the starter that he's coming in after. That's also another option here if I was in charge.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of using like Gibson as like Gibson and Ranger Suarez like an opener and like a closer, or however you want to like split the game type of thing. But I just don't think Kyle Gibson opens games that well.
What does Kyle Gibson? What does he do well?
He eats innings, and you don't eat innings in the playoffs. You need quality innings, not eating them.
Yeah, I feel like the teams that need those type of pitchers are the teams that have like no starting pitchers, like the Nats right now. Yeah, the Nats, the Pirates, teams that don't have any established pitchers that just need innings. Those are the guys that are going to sign Kyle Gibson in the offseason. We're in a playoff hunt, and we need outs. We don't need innings. We need outs. And we have suddenly 7 starting pitchers with Eflin coming back. This is going to be a very interesting case because I know Gibson's just beloved in that clubhouse. And even in among the rotation, they all kind of look up to him. It's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds, but I'm hoping it unfolds a certain way, kind of like how we let on.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be nice for what I want, but I think the Phillies are just going to hope Kyle Gibson starts pitching better because I don't think they want to do that to him. Like a veteran like that and benching him in the playoffs, it hurts.
I know. It's tough. I get it. You can't always.
But we got to win.
Yeah, you can't always separate the business from like the chemistry. It's probably something they're not going to want to mess up, and I totally get that. But we'll see. We'll know soon because I'm seeing Tuesday for Zach Wheeler. Early reports. I don't think anything's final. I'm seeing Tuesday. Are you seeing the same stuff?
Yeah, Tuesday against Toronto, right?
Yeah. So that's gonna put him at. Man, how long has he been out? A little over 3 weeks now.
Think so. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. What are you expecting from him?
Increased velocity.
Are you expecting that, or are you hoping for it?
Hoping. Praying.
What are you expecting?
95, 96.
Quality start?
Oh, you're talking about like the individual outing?
But both, yeah. Kind of what he brings to the mound and how he performs.
I think he'll be effective. I think he'll have a little more on his fastball. I don't know how much. I don't know if it'll be like topping out like 99, kind of like 99, 98, but if he could get up to 96, something like that, 97, that would set up the rest of his game.
I'd rather see like a 4-inning start where he's hitting 97 than like, the 7-inning start that he was putting up before where he limps through the lineup a couple times, sitting like 95. I want to see the velocity no matter what. It's the most important thing to me. I get that, his health is very important. Him just being here is important. But I want Zach Wheeler to be Zach Wheeler of old, and that is the guy throwing 99 because my thoughts have changed. Last week I wanted to grind it out for a playoff spot. Now I'm starting to think if you get us in a series with somebody and we have Zach Wheeler of old, things kind of change there because he's top 5 pitcher in the game if it's Zach Wheeler of old. So that's what I want, and that's what I'm going to be hoping for. Not necessarily expecting. I think they'll kind of quietly let him go back into the rotation and work his way back up, but we'll see. Hope for the best there.
Yeah, that actually reminds me. I wanted to mention how I think the Phillies need to be very, very careful when it comes to Sir Anthony and Zach Wheeler's arms in these next 3 weeks till the season's over? 4 weeks.
Yeah,
but yeah, I because it kind of came to my head last night when I was on Twitter after Sir Anthony had that phenomenal 8th inning, just great inning out of him, and everyone's calling for him to do the 9th, and I'm like, all right, I know Sir Anthony's effectiveness and his stuff is going to be tempting to use through the stretch, but we're gonna, and I know it's a playoff line, and it might not, and if we don't get to the playoffs, it doesn't matter, but we got to keep him healthy if we get to the playoffs. He needs to be able to throw often in playoff games. So if we can use other people, then we need to have faith in them.
So how would you approach him? Would you give him? I mean, obviously, you never pitch him back-to-back games. Would you keep him, mid-leverage games for 3 times a week type thing?
I still think keep him in the high leverage situations because that's kind of what he thrives at, and that's what his role is on this team. But I think no back-to-back games. I think every needs a day off between throwing, and I think they're going to have to keep his pitch count down.
The problem is he's so important. That's the problem. You get in these close games with the Braves, and I don't know about you, but every time they turn on the bullpen, I'm hoping it's Sir Anthony. And frankly, it's much more enjoyable watching him close than David Robertson. His stuff's less stressful to watch. His 100-mile-an-hour cutter, and he's just seems to. I don't know. He seems to calm my nerves when he's out there. It's so tempting to not want him to pitch every day, if that makes sense. If I was Topper, it'd take every ounce of me to resist not putting that guy in every high leverage spot because he's that fun to watch pitch.
Yeah, sure. From a short-sighted view, it makes so much sense. Pitch him as much as you can because we'll win the most games. But for anyone that knows the road Sir Anthony went through to get his arm healthy, that was a lot of time away from baseball, and he has not had this type of workload in years. And we want Sir Anthony to be a major part of this bullpen for the next 5 years, and you can't waste it all on one.
I'm surprised it's gone as well as it has this year in terms of his health.
I am too, and I got a lot. I can't lie, I'm nervous. I'm always nervous.
Yeah, he's had just about no issues besides the triceps, which was turned out to be minor. I mean, he looked phenomenal yesterday against the Marlins. You're right. It's something we kind of have to think of the bigger picture there instead of the individual game, because not even this year. I mean, next year, Sir Anthony's our closer, right? That's just about guaranteed now. He's a big piece of the future too. So no, you're definitely right there.
You ready for that time of the night?
Oh no, is the music coming? No music. Oh, there's okay.
Trivia with the Double Switch podcast.
So we got to work on your delivery a little bit.
You can't hear me over the music?
No, I can hear you. It's just I know it's coming, and I don't know when it's coming. There needs to be a little more fluid there. And
you're the outro guy.
Yeah, you need to get your intro kind of under control there because I'm not pumped for trivia time right now. I want to be pumped.
Oh, but okay.
Yeah, you got to get me pumped.
All right, yeah. I'll keep work on that one every episode.
Okay. All right, good.
All right, you ready?
So I'm up one answer. How are we keeping? Because we're going to start to lose track of this.
We're tallying. I have a tally.
You have a tally? Yeah. Okay, so how many have I gotten right?
You went 3 for 3, right? Oh, no,
2
I
for
went.
3.
Yes.
Do you actually have a tally?
Yeah, somewhere.
All right, whatever. I'm winning right now because I scored more points in 2 weeks ago. So I'm ready when you are.
All right. What was the nickname of the 1950 Philadelphia Phillies? And why, if you're if you know it.
The 1950 Phillies?
It's easier than you think.
Um 19 Phillies. The Broad Street Bullies? That's a good guess.
Correct answer would be the Whiz Kids because it was a team of almost entirely rookies, and they won the first pennant in 35 years.
Yeah, had no idea. Who was the Broad Street Bullies? Wasn't that a team?
Flyers.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. I don't know what year they were called that, but
All right. Well, yeah, I definitely got that wrong.
all right. Everyone mark that down. That's a wrong answer for Josh.
Yeah,
All right.
they know. They know. They heard.
Second question. How many seasons did the Phillies play before winning their first World Series?
97. 96.
77 seasons before winning their first World Series. It's 1903 is when the Phillies began. And
Okay.
if you do the math, 1980 would be 77 years.
I trust your math. We're
Good.
We're leveling up the questions a little bit here. These are trickier than last week.
Yeah, I honestly feel bad.
Are you trying to catch up to me? The next one's harder?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I feel like it's honestly should be illegal. But who was the first Philly to homer from both sides of the plate in one game?
Jesus. No, he was a lefty. No, switch hitters are old. They've been around for a minute. This is impossible.
All right, I have to give you a decade because this is hard. 1980s.
Yeah. 1980s. 1980s. Let me try not to keep people waiting here for when I'm just inevitably going to answer incorrectly. I don't know anybody from besides the World Series team.
Should I come up with a new question?
Yes, come up with it. These are really hard. These are impossible. We need to come up with some format for these questions because this is a full 180 from your first set.
All right. I will do an easier one.
What was the answer
Who
to
was Steve Geltz in 1989?
No, I don't know. I don't even know.
Okay. Yeah, wait, I got to get off these really old ones real quick.
Oh my God. Yes, I am a new Phillies fan. I am 23. I don't know anything from 1903.
Who was the Philadelphia Phillies 2016 draft pick? First round.
2016. That would be Mickey Moniak.
Bingo. Our fellow Angel.
Okay. You see how he's been doing for the Angels?
Really well.
It's making me think.
What could have been? Maybe why not Mick?
I think he might be able to fill some holes on this team. Maybe we should look into a trade for him this offseason.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. Let's trade the house for Mickey Moniak.
Let's see if they'll accept Thor for him. I bet they wouldn't.
No, I would never. It's a horrible deal. All right, well that concludes trivia for tonight. Josh got one right out of 3. It's an average day at the ballpark.
We will work on that. We're going to get that down, and we're going to have it so it's much more fluid than it was this week. Still working out the kinks, but we'll get it.
Yeah. No, it'll be nice and smooth by next week. Silky smooth.
Yeah. I guess I have to compensate next week and have some challenging questions, but after next week we'll be good. Got anything else? Any key points?
I just wanted to mention Darick Hall is raking down AAA. That could be a really fun addition to the bench if the Phillies so choose.
No at bats for him though.
I know, but the AAA season's about to end, and what else is he going to do? Sit on the couch?
Yeah, we only get 28 spots now, so you're talking sending down somebody, which
Donnie Sands is on the roster.
Third catcher right now, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't seen him play yet. Has he played?
No, I don't know what he's doing. I think he's just on the team to be on the team.
Just enjoying from the stands, just like everybody else.
Enjoying the perks of the Phillies. Yeah.
So we have 7 against Atlanta. That sucks. 2 against the Blue Jays. We go down to Houston. Another series against the Nats. No, that doesn't sound right at all. We go Braves.
Oh, Toronto.
Braves, Toronto. Who's after them? Cubs.
Oh, yes.
Cubbies. So yeah, you're talking. We have to go through the Braves and the Astros for half of our games, which is just a mess. That's not good. That's gonna suck. But
just gotta salvage a couple.
Yeah, we got to go to Atlanta and split somehow. What could possibly go wrong?
Aaron Nola has their number.
And then hopefully by the time we get down to Houston, they got to be close to clinching already. I mean,
they have 90 wins.
Yeah, they're nasty. I mean, the Mariners are a playoff team too, but they're not.
They have the same record as us, Mariners.
Yeah, they can't even be close. So hopefully, the Verlanders, Framber Valdez, we avoid some of their better pitchers, and we can kind of take it from them because they're not playing for much anymore. They're probably going to have the 1 seed in the AL. I think they left the Yankees in the dust, which is
good for baseball.
I have no opinion on that, honestly. Speaking of teams not doing as well, how's Dan doing lately?
He has been quiet lately.
Yeah, that's
there's not as much Phillies memes coming my way. He's not as much Instagram stories about the good old Metis. He's quieting down a little bit. I think he's been humbled by their shitty performance lately. To put it nicely, I mean, they lost to the Pirates and the Nationals. That is not good.
Who do you think captures this division?
Braves.
Yeah, agreed. Those Braves are nasty, and
they're that team.
Yeah, they are. I wouldn't be surprised if they messed around and got another title this year. They're that good.
I would not be surprised either. Hopefully, we don't have to face them en route in the playoffs. If we
hopefully we need them to win the division. So I guess we'll be Braves fans for a little bit, but yeah, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
I guess we'll be at the games next weekend. If that's the last home series, and then we'll be watching them on the road for the last 2 weeks of the season. So that'll be fun. Alrighty.
Yep, that'll be wonderful.
That should do it for this episode. If you guys are listening to us on Spotify, check us out on YouTube. If you're listening on YouTube, check us out on Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review. Leave us, suggestions for what you guys want us to talk about. Off season's coming up, and we are quickly going to run out of Phil's material, especially if they exit early in the playoffs. So just want to be prepared for that, and bring you guys as much content as we can. We also went into opinion articles. Johnny and I have been doing some writing. Check us out at doubleswitchpodcast.com. We're going to be trying to bring you articles every week, all kinds of stuff you may or may not be thinking about. So check that out, and check out our parent company, Pick Swap Media. Eagles season, football season's underway now, and they have all the Eagles content. Sixers right around the corner, all kinds of Philly sports. So definitely check that out, and we will talk to you guys soon.
Take care, everyone. Go Fightins, and check us out at doubleswitchpodcast.com.